Good afternoon, HROnboarders, and welcome to the first Masterclass for 2019. So today we are taking you through failed notifications. Notifications is a really powerful feature in HROnboard. It's right up there with our dynamic contract builder. And it can be from a very straightforward failed notification, you know, the offer's been accepted, it goes to the offer creator. We all know that one, we've all got that one. But in lots of our environments now, we're seeing some really amazing notifications that are full of conditions and logic, but really going to those people that require that information at the right time. And there's some environments that have so many in there, and dealing with so many environments now, I can't imagine how many notifications are being sent from our system, even minute by minute. But it's probably one of the biggest features in HROnboard, definitely. But I guess sometimes what happens with notifications, and we don't like to admit it, but yes, they do fail. And that's why we really wanted to bring this masterclass to you today, because we wanted to give you guys the tools to allow you to quickly resolve it, and just give you a little bit more guidance on how to do that. And, you know, why do they fail? Why do I get that big, red, scary little image in my admin section that says you have five failed notifications? We want to keep them to a minimum and show you how to easily clean that out. And that's what Rebecca's going to take you through today. So I'm going to hand the reins over for Rebecca's first masterclass. So let's all be gentle, because we know the first one's always nerve-wracking. But really looking forward to presenting this to you today. So over to you, Rebecca.
Awesome, thank you. Hi everyone. So I'm just going to take you through, I guess, what are they? So there are two different areas in HROnboard that you're able to see the failed notifications. So I think visibility is one of the first things that you want to think about in regards to seeing these failed notifications. So I'm sure if you've got access to the audit trail, you have seen, as Michelle mentioned, those big red scary, you have a failed notification coming. But if you click into your admin tab, you've also got a section in here, if you have access to the admin tab, called your failed notifications. So you can see here the big scary number of 225.
Oh my God, whose environment is this?
So this is our environment where we come into play, and I wanted to come in and just make as many failed notifications as I could for a variety of different reasons, and I had a little bit too much fun in here.
I can tell.
Yeah. So basically, in a nutshell, our system will let you know the notification has successfully sent as well, so you'll be able to view this in the audit trail. But we want to also have visibility of when they're not successfully sent. So we want to see when they're not going out in here as well. So that's why we have this failed notification log, so you can come in here and see why they're not sending. And it also comes with a handy reason as to why they're not sending in here as well. So sometimes it can take a little bit of investigation for these ones, but there are some nice reasons in here that sort of give you that, I guess, tool to help you find out the reasons as to why these notifications are failing to send. So the first one I'm going to go through is just going to be the most common one that you're going to come across, where your welcome email sent out, and you can see here in the reason that the failed notification reason is that there's either an error in the email address, its content, or an attachment. So the majority of the time it is actually the email address that's been incorrectly entered for these ones. Yeah. So you can see here that our p-tester is at hronboard.com.au. I purposefully made that an incorrect email address.
Oh my goodness.
I've had a lot of fun in here.
It has a different email address, Rebecca.
No. You let me have too much fun in here. So yeah, email is the most common one in here, but I have obviously made a few different errors in here as well that we can have a look at. So you can have errors in their content as well, which is why we've got a link here to those emails, so you can have a look in them and have a see if they are actually failing because of that email notification. Generally, if it is the content in the email notification, it is around that conditional wording. So if you have put in those, if its employment status is full-time, then show this text. That'll be the reason that your email is failing in there for those ones. So you can click out and have a look at what emails you've got in here as well. Alternatively, you can click into your person's name here as well, and that'll take you to their offer file. So we can come in and have a look at Penelope. And if we come to the audit trail, we can see all of my beautiful failed notifications down here. Ooh, we can see how much fun I had. So if we come on it down, we can see, oh, there's a lot in here. It's a lot of red. Very scary. So another type of failed notification we've got in here is we do send out our SMS from our notification area as well. So the majority of the time when the SMSs fail, it is like similar to the email situation where you've entered an incorrect phone number. So the number I've entered here for Kim Possible has a little too many digits for a phone number, which is obviously why that one is failing. But sometimes it is best just to give the failed SMS notifications just a retry. So we've got these little retry buttons on the side next to your failed notifications. And you can see the last one that went out, it's still failing because my phone number is still incorrect. It still has too many digits. So the reason I'd suggest giving the SMSs a resend is because we do use an external provider for our SMS notifications. And sometimes it does sort of drop in and out of service for those ones. So things like when you're trying to send SMSs from your phone, sometimes you just need to hit that retry button for those ones. So that's why I wanted to put a failed one in here, just so you could have a look at how to resend those. My advice for those as well is sort of have a look at the notification you are resending for that one as well. Because if you can see that Kim has already accepted her offer, there wouldn't really be a good time to resend her welcome SMS in there. So just something to keep in the back of your mind with these notifications as well is if they have failed, are they still necessary to go out as well? And if they're not necessary, can you just delete them? Yeah, so you can delete them. So say Kim has completed her offer, this SMS is no longer going to be useful, we can just delete that one in there as well. So it will let you know that they will be permanently deleted, which means that once you've deleted it, you can't retry to send it. But if she's already accepted her offer, I don't want to resend this and I don't want someone else to resend this. So it is nice to come in and tidy these up. So if you have successfully resent your notifications, that'll remove them from this failed notification log. Or if you decide that it's no longer relevant, it's good just to delete it, just to keep this area nice and tidy and not have the 225 that I've got in here because it can get pretty messy if you're trying to look through that many notifications, and you don't want to have to reinvestigate an issue that you've already looked into as well. So another example I've put in here as well. Can I just stop you there, because Kristen has raised a really good question. So if we know even from the formatting that that the mobile number is incorrect, do you have to go back into edit the offer to correct the mobile number? Is there a really easy way to do that? So the easiest way to resend the mobile number is if I get to the offer acceptance page, you've got an option in the actions file. So I'll come in and have a look and see if I can find one of my test offers. In the actions drop down, you've got the option here to resend the email. When they've gotten this offer acceptance page, so accepting the offer, you'll have another option in your drop down to resend the verification code. And what that does is you can re-enter their mobile number in there as well. So same thing with the emails. You do have this option to resend the email while it's in offer sent, completing pre-acceptance or accepting offer. That's where you can update those details in there. So I can resend the email. I can see in here that this email I've entered is incorrect, and I can type my new one in here as well. Yeah. So then at the right stage, that would then allow you to update the SMS. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep. Hope that answers your question, Kristen. Okay. So one of the other ones that I've put in here that's just something that I wanted to bring to everyone's attention is if you're doing a lot of test offers. So we do have a testing feature in HROnboard where you can test out the new hire experience. So when you click is this a test offer? Yes, you can send all of the notifications to yourself, assign all of the tasks to yourself, and then you can be able to go into the candidate portal and see everything that they see as well. If you're doing this for the first time, one of the failed notifications you might see is this top one here. So the field name equals candidate mobile number, and it's a configuration error. The reason you're getting this failed notification is because you have assigned everything to you. So assigning those notifications, assigning the candidate portal and everything to yourself. That's what happens when you mark it as a test. And for this one, it's just saying that your personal user details don't have a mobile entered. So if we come into Veronica's offer, bear with me while we load, can have a look at who's actually created this test offer. So as you can see, logged in as Rick, I created it as Rick. Awesome. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into my admin tab and have a look at Rick's user settings. So if I come into Rick, I can see that he doesn't have a mobile number entered, which is why that mobile verification has failed to send while we're doing our testing. So if I come in.
So it's really important as a user to make sure you have your mobile number in your profile.
Absolutely. If you're going to be doing testing and using that test feature, then it's very important to have your mobile number entered in here as well. So if I come back to my failed notification, this is one that we can try to resend. And then once my failed notification log has refreshed, you can see that that's no longer part of my failed notification log because I've successfully sent that notification.
Wonderful. And Alina's asking if you can delete all the failed notifications in one go instead of one by one. I'm thinking we don't do that to allow you to have a considered, I suppose, approach to each failed notification. So you can look at it and then go, nah, get rid of it.
Yeah. So the idea is that you should be coming in one by one and going through and deleting them. If there's some in there that you've got that are about like a year old and you just want to start with a clean slate, then feel free to get in touch with us. We can definitely help you get rid of those mass of notifications in there, and it will be pretty quick for us to do that, but it will delete all of them. We can't sort of pick and choose between those. It'll be just a clean slate, or if you're happy to go in and just delete the ones one by one, just making sure you've read through them and they're no longer required in there as well.
Yes. And Paige is asking if admins receive an email notification when there's failed notifications. Paige, we don't send out email notifications for incorrect sort of email addresses, only because we're very conscious of spamming everybody with emails. You receive a lot of emails through one workflow anyway, in terms of, you know, rejected reviews and offers declined and offers accepted. We just didn't want to add to the craziness that are our inboxes. So that's why we've created these logs instead, and just given a few prompts in the app as well to check out your failed notification log. So that's why admins don't receive alerts for failed notifications.
Cool, awesome, yeah, great. The last example that I put in here was just a bit of a cheeky one, I guess. We've got here that there's no active or configured recipients, yet you can see here that Frank is a recipient in here. So what I'm going to try and do here is I can see that this review approved notification hasn't gone out to Frank. I'm going to try and find out why. So I'm going to come into my users to see if I can have a look for Frank. And at the moment, I can't actually see him in my list. So I'm going to have a look at my inactive users in here. And I come down and I can see Frank has been made an inactive user. So his last login was the 30th of August. He's now an inactive user. If he's incorrectly marked as an active user, I can make him active again and I can send out that notification. Otherwise, if he's not active anymore, I don't want him to receive that notification. So that's why that one has failed to send. And I'd just be deleting that one in there as well.
So it totally makes sense. As soon as you make a user inactive, they don't receive notifications anymore. And it's a prompt to then redirect the notification.
So that'll be
a team member or something like that.
Absolutely. So that's where you can come into your review approved notifications. So that's where I would use that notification link to come in and have a look at it. And I can see here that Frank's the only user currently receiving that recipient. So I can change that to whoever has now taken over his job. So pretend Naz has taken over that one. Or you can put a couple of people in here as well. So just remember to say those ones.
Cool. And Janine, hey Janine, she's asked a good question actually. So you guys will know we do testing in your environments, and even in our own testing in your environments, we create failed notifications. So Janine in the past has deleted our own failed notifications, and just wondering if she's doing the right thing by doing that, or should she leave anything that we've created ourselves in terms of failed notifications? What do you reckon?
I think it'd be fine to delete
Yeah.
those. I think if we were testing them, we would let you know.
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah, if we were trying to create these failed notifications on purpose, it'd generally be because we're trying to replicate something that we're investigating for you. So we'd be letting you know that we're in there trying to test those failed notifications. But
and those naughty consultants,
not tidying up after themselves.
They are not tidying up after themselves. So we'll be having a word with them after this masterclass to tidy up their room. So thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Cool, awesome. So basically, the main thing that I just wanted to drive home was when you're looking at these failed notifications, just investigating why you think it might have failed. If you sort of come to a point where you're like, I have no idea, I'm looking at this and the email address is correct, the notification looks correct, you're always welcome to give the call at support or just send through an email as well. And we're happy to have a look at it as well. And 2 heads are better than 1 when it comes to getting these out, especially if it's an important notification that you're wanting to go out to the recipients for this one. So first things first would be just checking your email, seeing if you can figure out the reason why it didn't send, and if you sort of get to a point where you can't sort of progress any further, just get in touch with us and we can have a look with you as well and see if we can figure out why these notifications aren't sending. And the other one is if they're not relevant anymore, just clearing them out.
Yeah.
Did you have any other questions? Or?
No, all good. But is that really everything you wanted to go through? Yeah, probably. It is probably short and sweet. It's just one of those sort of necessary evils, I suppose, failed notifications. But there are a few other questions coming in now, which is awesome. If there's an error with the SMS gateway, which I think we saw in one of your examples, does that mean that the phone number's incorrect?
Error with the SMS gateway is one of the ones where I would suggest trying to resend it first. Okay. That's generally the error message you get when a SendX has quickly gone down.
Having a bit of a blip.
Yeah, having a bit of a blip for that one. So I'd definitely try resending it. But it can also mean that there is an error with the phone number itself.
Yeah.
So generally the error message you get with the SMS is there's only going to be 2 things that are generally wrong with it. Okay. It's either the phone number's wrong or a SendX quickly went down. So your quickest way to sort of resolve those is just check your phone number and click that resend button.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. And Kristen, who I'll be seeing on Thursday, yay! If an email's corrected, how does it affect the login details? Well, they wouldn't have got their email login for the first place if they didn't.
Yeah, so it will update their email address and their username. So because they haven't actually logged in, it won't actually confuse them because their login will still just be their email address for that one. Yeah. So every time you update that email address, it does update their username as well.
Yeah, perfectly. So all happens the way it should. Yeah. And in your failed notification log, I saw some that didn't have the resend option. So we've got our awesome resend and retry option, but there was one in there I noticed didn't have it. It only had the delete option.
Yeah, cool. Basically, there can be 2 reasons that can happen. So one is that the notification is no longer available. So if you've come into your notification area, so go in and have a look at it. So this one's obviously still available, but if we come into our notifications and the notification is no longer available, so you've made it inactive or you've deleted it, then you won't be able to resend that notification because there's nothing there for it to reference to be able to send it out. The other option is if you've actually deleted the user itself. So say you've created their offer by accident and you've deleted the offer, or if it was our test offers that we should have been deleting from those failed notifications. So the person will be grayed out in that case, and you won't have the option to resend it because there's no one to resend it to. Yeah. Or there's no offer for it to check all of those information.
So there's a really good reason why we take away that option. Not to be annoying.
Either the person or the notification no longer exists.
Yeah, awesome. And another thing that I know I've heard of as well is that you know, our system will tell you when a notification is sent successfully, what it doesn't tell us is if it's actually hit your system successfully, isn't it? So making sure that you guys understand what a successful notification actually, I suppose, means.
Yeah, so basically with these failed notification logs, it's basically failing because we're not able to send it rather than verifying that it's been received. So we're not sort of checking in your inboxes and making sure that these have, like, we don't want to breach your privacy and come in and have a look at these sort of details in there. We're just sort of seeing if we're able to successfully see it. So things that'll cause it to fail is we do get bounce backs that'll cause these to fail, or obviously if the email is just incorrect, we're obviously going to get a bounce back from that as well. So that's sort of our telltale sign as to whether it's failing. But there can be some IT systems in place that filter out things that they class as spam, and we won't have access or visibility to see whether that got filtered out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if our system's saying it showed that it's been sent successfully, but you know you haven't received it, probably the best thing is, check with us, but more than likely it might be your wonderful IT teams that you might have to speak to, just due to firewalls and whitelisting and things like that. Yeah. And a couple more questions that have come in. We've got time for a few more if you wanted to send them through. But Kristen is asking if in the meantime, and I think I'm getting this right, Kristen, if you've updated the email for a candidate after they've logged in, what happens? So if it's coming through as a failed notification, but in the meantime the HR team have updated it to a different email address?
So if the email address was incorrect to begin with, they wouldn't be able to log in initially. They wouldn't.
All their username, isn't it?
It's like it sends your link to your email. So I believe there are some environments where you can set it up so that the SMS has the link in it as well. But it's the same concept where you update that email address, it'll update their username as well. So their password will still remain the same. Everything within that, like, offer will still remain the same. It's just their email and username that'll get updated with that resend email option.
So she's given an example that a candidate logged in on their mobile, but then couldn't access on their home computer and asked for their email to be sent to the work email address. So probably one of those real random ones where there's a bit of different communication going on all at the same time. But everything is driven from when you update the username.
When you resend that email,
and you resend the email,
it updates their username and their
automatically. We can go through that. We'll go through this during coffee on Thursday, Crispin. Don't worry, I'll show you. But probably just to cover that off. As soon as you update that against the offer file prompted from the failed notification, it will update the user login, so you don't have to check the user. The user details. It will all happen automatically, basically. Yeah, cool. So I think we've answered all the questions. As with all our masterclasses, you guys, if there's anything that you think of after this, please just give me a call or give support a call. We really hope that this has helped and given you a little bit more of an insight into how to manage these pesky notifications when they don't work. And we'll have this recorded, so if you wanted to share it with your teams, we'll get this on our LinkedIn user group. Please make sure you're a member of the LinkedIn user group. There's lots of good stuff in there. But otherwise, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Beck. You did a great job for your first masterclass. And have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll catch you all soon. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.